In this video, we will cover two more types of positive stress management behaviors, self-affirmation and expressive writing. But first, let's hear a pep talk.
Look, I can be a shark. Now, my whole house is great. I can do anything good. I like my school. I like anything. I like my dad. I like my cousins. I like my aunts. I like my Allisons. I like my moms. I like my sisters. I like my dad. I like my hair. I like my haircuts. I like my pajamas. I like my stuff. I like my rooms. I like my whole house. My whole house is great. I can do anything good. Yeah. I can do anything good. Better than anyone. Better than anyone.
Apart from being just frickin' adorable, that video highlights our first method of both momentary and long-term stress reduction, that is, self-affirmation. Self-affirmation refers to the act of positively affirming one's values and strengths, such as appreciation for one's life, recognition of personal skills, and reevaluation of what is most important for one's happiness. This practice helps build long-term self-esteem and positive affect, which can influence coping response. For instance, people who feel more capable will be better able to see themselves as able to handle any stressor they encounter. Self-affirmed individuals may also find themselves placing less importance on a particular outcome or stimuli, thus reducing primary appraisal. One research study found that participants who engaged in self-affirmation exercise prior to a challenging exam had lower blood pressure, a marker of stress response, compared to participants who did not self-affirm. Interestingly, there was no significant difference in how well these participants did on the exam, so self-affirmation did not make people smarter or more capable. Instead, the self-affirmation just made people less stressed about their own abilities or the importance of the exam. Feeling positive self-regard can also contribute to better health practices as people experience greater need for physical care. Our last method of positive stress management involves a technique many of you have probably used before and not known it. Those of you who have ever journaled or kept a diary have probably also found some days where you are frustrated and just need to write down all the angry, sad, or anxious thoughts in your head. You probably also found that afterwards you felt a bit better. This act of getting the thoughts out of your head and onto another medium is called expressive writing. Jamie Pennebaker is one of the original proponents of this method of stress reduction. Here's a video.
What I'd like to have you write about today and for the next 3 days is to write about the most traumatic, upsetting experience of your entire life.
Writing about your problems can help. When people are asked to write about an emotional upheaval in their life for 15 minutes a day for 4 consecutive days, a number of changes are seen. Over 200 research studies report that emotional writing can improve people's physical and mental health, help them sleep better, and even result in their getting better grades in school. In their study, 46 college students were randomly assigned to write about either a traumatic experience or a superficial topic. Although the stories themselves are interesting, the real power of the expressive writing method is that it has an impressive effect on the participants themselves.
The results of that first experiment were like nothing I'd ever seen before. What we found was that when people wrote about these traumatic experiences, it changed them. It upset them, but they kept coming back. Hardly anybody stopped the experiment. All of this was profound in and of itself, but what was most interesting was just the degree to which writing about upsetting experiences made a difference in people's physical health. They went to the doctor less. We did a subsequent experiment, and we drew blood from students before they participated, again at the last day of writing, and then 6 weeks later, writing about traumatic experience brought about changes in immune function.
As the video mentions, expressive writing can have long-term benefits to the individual. Although people who wrote about traumatic events experienced more short-term distress compared to participants who wrote about trivial experiences, those who wrote about traumatic experiences had greater long-term mental health. Pennebaker and colleagues theorize that expressive writing helps people understand the how and why of stressful events, allowing people to organize, clarify, and find meaning. Thus, expressive writers are able to overcome the emotional stress response quicker, thus making mental space to have more positive experiences. Those who internally hold on to stress and trauma, however, often experience repetitive thinking and what-if scenarios as they struggle to process the stressful event. Follow-up research regarding the benefits of expressive writing have found that pen and paper are not the only effective method for people to organize their thoughts. In fact, people find similar benefits simply from verbalizing their emotions to socially supportive others. In the next video, we'll take a look at this concept of social support.